What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I made some upgrades to the truck since the last video where I was fighting the torque converter issue. So I went ahead and got the intercooler setup done, had the charge pipe fabricated, and then I did some fuel system changes. So yeah, I changed that Zeus fitting today too. I got it. Just showing the intake setup, how I changed it. All right, so like I said, I got the TIC Performance intercooler. I plumbed the ice box, which is in the passenger seat. We'll show that in a second. The EFI Hi Ram. I wanted the low ram, but it wasn't in stock when I was shopping for one, and now it's in stock like everywhere. But anyway, I'm actually pretty happy with it. It fits under the hood. I did have to flip the throttle body upside down. So I flipped this upside down. I made a little bracket, which is not the best thing in the world. I'm probably gonna have to redo it at some point, but it works for now. And then I had a local guy, he owns a business called Killer Cam Performance. He does some fab work and other stuff, race car stuff. So he modified this charge pipe for me. And yeah, we got it all set up. Everything works really well. And then on the inside, I think I showed this in one of my last videos, but this is the ice tank setup. So John usually fills, actually it's still cold. John will fill this up with ice, you know, before I race. I got a little Davies Craig water pump. It works well. I wanted to put it in the bed, but there's just no room, so we put it in here for now. Sure, it's convenient. I got a little toggle switch over there to turn it on and off. It works great, actually. All right, so what I'm doing at the moment now with this new Aeromotive 5-gallon fuel pump, the fuel pressure regulator that was on the car or on the truck was this Aeromotive A1000 fuel pressure regulator, which it's not terrible. The problem that I was having though is that 5-gallon pump flows a lot, and this thing could not regulate it down. Like 68 PSI was as low as it would go. So, I mean, not a big deal. I'll go ahead and sell this thing because it's really not used that much. I'll take that bracket off though. And then I'm just replacing it with an Aeromotive. This is an EFI Extreme Flow. So this one comes with 2 springs. The one spring, I'm gonna try and run only about 43, just the stock fuel pressure. If anything, I could bump it up to 60. But it comes with another spring that goes like 75 to 120. So we'll start off with that. It pretty much bolts right on. I'm gonna take this bracket off, put the other one on, and then we'll go ahead and bolt this guy right to, it just bolts on right here. And then we will set it up and see how it goes. I got to put my fuel pressure gauge in it first. So go ahead and throw it on and then check back here in a minute. All right, so we've got the new fuel pressure regulator hooked up. All right, so I did a quick test of the new Aeromotive fuel pressure regulator. Like I said before, I have this like 1/4 inch just tube, and I just shoved a hose into it. I actually have, it came with a -4 AN fitting, and then I ordered a -4 AN fitting, some -4 hose and some fittings and stuff. So we're gonna get a AN line to take place of this, so it's just not, you know, pushed on. I'd rather have, you know, AN, since we're gonna have, you know, 30-ish pounds of boost flowing through that. Everything works great, truck looks great. What's next on the agenda for it? I need to get the alignment done. The wheels, the wheels have a lot of, what would that be? Camber, I guess, outward. So, and I tried to get some body shims and shim it down in there, but I'm just gonna pay a shop to align it perfectly. I figure if I'm gonna go pretty fast down the track, I need to make sure that this thing is straight. Then we also took the truck down to the track. We started testing it, shaking it down. We've already got the truck making progress, so we're still not breaking any records or going crazy fast at this point. We took it back to Rockingham. The truck just wasn't going straight at all. And so, aside from the fact that I need to do an anti-roll bar, the truck also needed an alignment. So, had the truck aligned, and then we went back to Rockingham. And my first tune that I set up really was a tune that I was pulling a bunch of timing for. And really, what I'm trying to do is set up a 60-foot that it would be good on the street. And we actually did test it without a burnout on the street, and it hooked and went. So I just set it up at the track. And then so as you can see in the video, the truck kind of bounces a little. We were a little high on the tire pressure. Plus I had the compression set a little too tight on the rears for the shock settings. And you know, it still went down because they had that track really tight. So like that wasn't really a good representation of what that tune is gonna do on like a street style surface. But then so anyway, you know, we just were really trying to make sure the truck went straight, which it did go straight. It did not run a very fast number at all for what the truck is. And then so for the second hit, what I did was I raised the launch RPM from 3,500 to 3,700. I think I put a pound on the dome, which is really nothing for the leave. And then I put 5 degrees back in it for the launch. So I was only pulling like 5 degrees, and I had it taper off quicker. So it was like all in by about 1.4, 1.5 seconds. Again, right around the 60 foot. Didn't really put anything on the back end. And then when I got towards the end of the track, I grabbed the scramble just to see what it would do, which again, it didn't really add much. But we went like almost a full second faster. And most of it was just based off our tightening the 60 foot up. All right, so what we're doing now, we're just checking plugs. Well, changing plugs really. They're a little bit on the rich side. I like to keep the tune a little bit richer as I work into it. So I made a bunch of fueling changes in it from the last time at the track, just to lean it up a little bit. It was a little bit more on the rich side than we needed. So I got John out here pulling plugs. Another thing I definitely need to do is get some. We need to get some dump tubes for these wastegates because they just kind of vent right now, right here, and it's sucking the hot air back into the intake, even though this thing does a great job of cooling the intake air temps, but that's the next on our to-do list. I did the easy side. I gave John the hard side. This side's pretty easy. That side with the steering shaft, he's got a little smaller arms than me, so he can figure that one out. So as you can see, we're learning the truck. We're getting there. Unfortunately for Dig or Die, John has a wrestling match, so he won't be there for Friday. But if I win and get to race Saturday, he'll be there for that. So I will say he's actually getting a lot better at like lining the truck up. You know, we're figuring it out slowly but surely. I know like a lot of people out there have thousands of passes, hundreds of passes. We have 6 really together. So we're getting it figured out. Honestly, for 6 passes, we've come a pretty long way. I mean, what did you say?
Yeah, definitely a lot better.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this one. That's where we're at with the truck. Moving right along. It's, you know, pretty much we're ready to go get into racing now. So right in time for winter. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for this one. As always, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.